it like rocket fuel.
Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Jackson from the shotgun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got Snead. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Ingram again, a first down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson has got his man. It's Andrews. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, his pass caught at the 4. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A run for Nick Chubb. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the 1st round. But they circled back in the 2nd round and got a really good one in Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke off a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Check out. 5, 6, 5. Come on, come on, come on. 11. 58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. Right. Alpha. 5, 6,
Throwing on 3rd down. Locke. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. Touchdown, Ravens. Well, you want to talk about making something out of nothing. Boy, he did that right there. What an incredible run.
Obviously a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield. But sometimes the receivers just run those defenders off, and it creates a wide open space.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, 58's the mic. Go 58's the mic. Let's go. 58's the mic.
Throwing is Locke. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw, Love. Going deep here for Landry. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tackle and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Jackson's throw caught here by Boykin. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
He may try and run for this. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. They'll roll him out right. It's caught by OBJ. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Go.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Luck. And finding the tight end Hooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Austin Hooper. His 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The extra point up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to, and that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion, went just shy of the marker. Shakes off the sag. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30.
And the Browns first down.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Alabama, Mack Wilson. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
No problem there on the extra point. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. After the run, Luck going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On the carry, it's Chubb. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the gun on third down, Luck. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 39. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Get him. Hey, Echo. 58's the mic. Man, I got you. 58's the mic. 58's the mic. Time to go, night.
From the gun, here's Luck. He finds his target, Beckham. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check 43. 36. Kill. Recon, 132 fighter. Check the edge. Hey, check. Wide, get wide. Check.
Now Chubb. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Shit. Come on. Big air. Undercoach.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Go.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Check out. Line 40. 58.
On 2nd and 9, Luck gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A shotgun snap for Luck. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun, Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Drop deep, drop deep.
Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
Out of the gun, Luck. It's caught, Beckham. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Luck on 1st down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Luck now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now Luck. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Flushed out right. Going for it all. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Miles Boykin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Locke. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Ingram's got the first down and more. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball in the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
The Browns drive about to get started. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2000.
A crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out.